Right, it's the old duffer. RL time. Pop the cab back on, just temporarily. We've still got the front here to do. We've done all the other sheet metal work, and you can see where all the red oxide is. It's just to stop it going rusty while we're doing it. We had to move I hope the light will show up, the throttle pedal over and the brake pedal assembly over because of the angle of the new steering column for the power steering, because we've moved the box. I've used the existing mounts, so I haven't done it to the chassis. I just made an adapter bracket to get this where we needed it, so the drag link and that would all work. And I've been driving it around the private roads on the farm, and it is fantastic. If you want to turn the wheels where you're static, turn the steering while you're static, there's still a little bit of weight to it, but it's not difficult. But then I'm used to driving vehicles that never had power steering. I learned to drive in a car that never had power steering. So you only turn the steering wheel when you're actually rolling even slowly, and just manoeuvring this thing with the power steering is so much better, and the air brakes are brilliant. It's all worked out really well, thankfully. I've also moved the steering wheel that way. Basically I shortened the column, cut the end off the column, the Iveco column that obviously marries up to all this, machined it out, pressed it on the end of this shaft, and then welded it on. That'll never come off in a million years. There's no load on any of this anyway, it's not going to snap. I had to take the bottom bearing out of the original column, shorten it to what it is now, put the bearing back in, and I've put a little bit of box section there to tip the wheel upwards so it's further away from the seat, because obviously the original seats are wretched in these. If you've ever driven one, the springs don't give, especially if it's unladen. I know there's a body to go on this yet, but that is just spine breaker. So we're not going with the deluxe crate, we've got a better idea. I had to weld the floor up because it was rotten anyway, and we've got to, because this thing never had an air compressor. So this is an RL compressor, but it never was on this truck, because it never had one, it was a vacuum one. So I need to put some pipe work in there to move that round here out of the way. That will fit. We're going to put the whole front on the truck, get all this metal work done, put the replacement doors I've got some very good second-hand doors for it, because the original ones were gone. We've got to treat all the rust underneath, put new cab mounts on it. But if I bring you in here, that upside down seat or backwards seat is, I've got two of these out of a Jeep Grand Cherokee WJ, sort of early 2000 year. Took the headrest out, and I've worked out the connections and what I need on the wiring to make all the motors work, and it works fine. So you can go up, down, backwards, forwards. It's got lumbar support that you can adjust. I mean, I had a WJ limited edition one, and it was the most comfortable car I've ever had in my entire life. Hence we're putting these seats in. They're much bigger than the originals, and they're just, if you're driving it, you know, we've given it power steering and air brakes. We need something to sit on that's not horrid. So my next job is to work out how to mount it, make mounting brackets. The first one is obviously the most difficult, because once I've worked it out, the other side will be easier. You can't see these from the road, it's too high up, so nobody's going to know, and it doesn't matter anyway. It's my truck, and I need to make it so I can drive it without ending up with a broken back or in a lot of pain and discomfort. The exhaust worked really well. I couldn't really hear it unless I hung my head out the back window when I was bombing around the farm on it. It's now a lot of fun to drive with the improvements, it really is. You're not wrestling with it anymore. New battery, which we put on the outside. It originally was under the seat and rotted the floor out, and lifting those things in and out, yeah, I'm not, even if we use the original seats, there's no way that was going back in here. So yeah, if you look in, so yeah, we're now at that point. I've got to order a overhaul kit for the carb. It does seem to work, but I bet the diaphragm is getting a bit hard on the accelerator pump there. So, you know darn well the moment I drive it up the road for any distance, it will give up, so we've got to do that. So there you are, bit of an update. I don't know whether the camera will pick it up, but there's two bum-shaped dents in the roof, which we've got to knock out when we get the cab off next. So yeah, next job, get all this cab finished. I'd like to ideally have this thing finished with the cab on and as a rolling driving with all the lights on, except for obviously the back ones, because there's no body on the back, chassis cab by Christmas. Then we can put the body on. We'll paint the bulkhead first, because you can't get at it when it's on the right colour, and then put the body on But I may have to make the workshop door taller. You see the top of the doors there. I might have to go up to the next cross member and make that a flap that opens out on a winch or something, because we can't get the thing in here once the body goes on. It's too tall, so I do need to do some measuring. Sorry, the video ended fairly abruptly earlier. One of my customers walked in. It's been a day of customers today in and out, so I don't like thrusting a camera in my customers' faces. They don't like it, so don't tend to film much when there's customers around. Right, this driver's seat is bolted down. Bracketry is temporarily tacked together, so it all works. All the electrics work, so the seat adjusts once the damage is clean. Obviously, there's a bit of a limited amount of room this side. You can see that in it. It's a bit dark in here for the clutch, and out the I might be able to get it. This side, it's a comfortable seat compared to what's normally in there, but I might adjust some free play out. It's got too much free play anyway, and see if I can shorten the clutch and the brake lever very slightly, which will give me a bit more leg room. Now I've pulled the steering forward. The wheel isn't on your lap like it was with the original seats. Very strange. I can't imagine a 6-foot army soldier being able to drive one of these. I'm 5'6", and it's very little room for me. Right, this one is all wired up. The electrics will work on both seats. I rolled a little bracket on both sides to go around the inner wing and made up various pieces. I'm going to have to put, I don't know whether you see it without a torch under here, probably not, but under here I need to put some strengthening bars, probably use Angerline, sort of that way around as it were, with some drainage holes in to stiffen up the floor, because there's just no guts in it, there's no ripples, they are flat floors. So that's the next job. So we are getting there. I'll get that passenger seat fitted next week, and it's then get the front of this thing on, get the wings done. I'm going to make the wings, they do come off, the wing that goes in here, both sides, they are designed to come off. They have the studs, some of the studs, a lot of them are broken off up under here. I'll replace. I might make thumb screws for them and keep them well lubricated, because you imagine doing a fan belt in here. I mean, the camera won't pick it up, but you've got the two belts for the compressor, and the fan belt's behind that, and there's a throttle link that goes across the top of the water pump. Yeah, you need the wings off, and as well as the engine cowl up to get anywhere even close to it. And I've got a hydraulic power steering pump in there now as well, just to add to the compactness of it all. So there you go, quick video on the old RL. I'll keep you updated as we get a bit more done.